It is time for Stugotz to share his game notes. No one in the media will tell you what happened better than my boy Stu.
Dan, after a magical stint in Jacksonville, he went away to parts unknown. Yesterday, he reappeared, and we all found out together that he's been Jalen Hurts' backup in Philadelphia. Was is the key word. Because, Dan, after going 20 of 25 for 242 yards, 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, and leading the Eagles to a much-needed victory over the New York Jets, Dan, make no mistake about it. Minshew Mania is back. Did you know he was in Philadelphia?
I had to be reminded yesterday. He was traded this offseason, right, for like a 6th-round pick?
I guess.
Yeah, I'd forgotten.
Incredible story. Speaking of back, Kyler Murray and DeAndre Hopkins. Dan Campbell lives and dies with his team's results every Sunday. Man is emotionally and physically spent after every game. It's like he's playing. No?
I understand what you're saying, but no, it's not at all.
What do you mean, no?
It's not at all.
I think
like
he's trying
playing.
harder than his players. You don't?
A lot of good it's doing him. All that try hard. How smart, how encouraging does the Pete Carroll rah-rah look at 4-8 on the sidelines? Does he look like a doddering old man bothering his players at 4-8?
Would Campbell be the guy you would want playing chicken?
The players hate that so much. Yes, among the coaches, he would
Good
be great.
base, yeah.
He would be an excellent base at chicken. Put that on the poll, Whittingham. Is Dan Campbell the best base you can have as your ally if you're playing a game of chicken in the pool? Among coaches,
yes. When did Brian Kelly become Bobby Boucher? And when did Mike Ryan become Adam Schefter? Brian Kelly was born in Massachusetts. I'm more Southern than he is. Georgia. I mean, seriously. What happened in that gymnasium?
And they're all frauds. They're all wearing masks.
No, he's a used car salesman,
They're all
man.
frauds wearing masks, doing whatever they got to do to get to the $12 million a year.
Hey, Georgia, do it against Alabama. Georgia, blah, blah, blah. Kirby Smart, blah, blah, blah. Best defense ever, blah, blah, blah. Brian Kelly should change his name to Boudreaux Kelly. It's with an X.
Brian Kelly, blah, blah, blah.
Imagine your surprise when you saw an X in there.
All of Mike Ryan's hair falling to the floor of the Clevelander Studios collision course.
Mike's been trying to negotiate his way out with all manner of shame, and Stugotz has been swaggering all day like, nope, think you're going to go ahead and cut that hair for me.
I walked past him at one point, and I said, I want that hair.
The audience doesn't want to let you out of it, but even more than that, Stugotz, because I asked Stugotz, I'm like, is there something he can give you, something dramatic, something big you can negotiate? You love to negotiate. Is there something that Mike can give you? Because he really doesn't want to do this. And Stugotz is like, no, I want to see his hair on the floor.
I can give you a couple of days to think it out. Like they're going to play again. Two teams, very likely.
You haven't offered me anything, though.
I'm
you're thinking of double or nothing?
Choice.
You're thinking of double or nothing bets where I can't lose?
Do you want to break
where you can't lose?
Do you want to break the story? Do you want to? Is there any amount of information that he can give you to put on Roy's Twitter account? Is there any item he can give you that would make you willing to make?
It's all out there now.
The bet,
he did it all.
Double or nothing.
I don't want his reporting. He deserves to benefit from his own reporting. He's worked hard.
You want his hair?
I do. I want his hair.
So does my wife.
I told you not to make the bet, man.
I know. You all tried to stop me. I was
No,
foolish.
Dan led you to it.
No, that's not true.
Yeah, you kinda did.
I was trying. I'm not.
Do you think that's
comfortable
what
with
happened?
How that is?
Well, I went
That he
back to
pressured
listen
me
to the
into it?
audio, and Dan started by saying he wanted to make a bet on this game because I
Not
didn't do
that
it against
bet.
Alabama guy
It
the
was
whole
all his
season.
idea, and he pushed me to it.
Not that bet. You're the one who escalated it without any pressure from me into that
He
realm.
made me do this.
Here's how I let you off the hook. Dan does it instead of you.
That is so good. That is so good right there. I saw.
Dan?
God no.
You're always wearing a hat, even at black tie events.
I cannot do that.
You can get away with this one, pal.
Mike, I was mortified. The next day we did the show of why did it have to escalate to that? Because there is almost nothing that would make me make that bet.
You let him do it, though. I mean, roll back the tape.
I did not lead him to those.
I want somebody's hair.
Those stakes, but that is such a good move by you because I think, put it on the poll, Chris Whittingham, who would you rather see with the fine bomb?
Oh, we know the answer.
Haircut, Mike Ryan or Dan LeBatard?
I am totally willing to do my part and adhere to whatever the results say. The best interest
Okay, but then,
of our
all right,
audience.
but let me ask you this question, though. If Stugotz is going to do this to me, if Stugotz is going to do
Are
this...
you really considering this?
Well, but
No,
but he's not going to be the only one who's allowed to negotiate here, though, because if I have to consider this, then I would throw it right back on you and say, if we're going to make it double or nothing, now it's got to be, I've got to have some stakes in the next Georgia-Alabama game in order to agree to these conditions.
So you possibly shaving your head into Paul Feinbaum would then be back on the table, Stugotz.
Well, no, he gets out of this easy.
I'm done. I have
because
nothing. Right,
double or
right.
nothing
So what-
means, wait a minute.
Well,
does
what
that-
do you,
Wait, are you saying that both of you shave your head?
Hello.
Hello.
double or nothing. So is it the both of us, me and Mike Ryan, and
They have to play
and-
again.
in the
though,
next
right?
Alabama,
I mean, Michigan
Georgia.
could win.
We
I mean,
have to
if
get.
Georgia's the national champion, let's do that.
Stay strong, Stugotz. Somebody needs to end up shaving.
We-
their
Well, in this scenario that he's painting,
Wait, but hold on, Chris.
it's Dan and I shaving my head. Like, my fate is sealed unless Georgia wins, and Dan, as tribute, is putting his skull on the line.
No, but I'm not having Georgia. It's not going to happen anyway. But Georgia's now playing Cincinnati, like in the national championship.
But then
game. It's going to be
Cincinnati-
Georgia, Alabama.
But then
again.
Cincinnati would have done it against Alabama.
No.
What do you mean, no?
I'm saying that Georgia.
Transitive property.
I'm
Google
saying,
it.
and I'm not even. No. I'm saying, and I'm not even certain if I'm saying it. Okay, but I'm speaking out loud. I'm saying if Georgia plays Alabama
Are
again,
you saying it or are you not saying it? Because it sounds
And
like
Georgia
you're saying
loses
it.
again.
We're talking
both
about
of you.
potential bets here. He's saying what he's saying.
Potential.
It does not mean he's agreeing to it. He's just
Right.
kind of
Just
spitballing
laying out the
ideas.
terms.
Yeah, you know
So
what
I need
else?
Alabama to beat Cincinnati.
You would need Alabama and Georgia to play again this season, right, in the national championship game. And if Alabama wins again, which they will, by the way,
Yeah.
both you and Dan
Right.
will get the fine bound.
All right, you're on. I can speak for Dan.
No, I am not.
Yeah, Dan's in.
No.
Hey, Dan's in. Great. Good deal. Thank
What's
you,
in
Dan.
this for Dan? What's in this
Love
for
and
you?
admire you. Thank you.
What I
There's
love,
nothing,
Chris, is
nothing.
about you. I love Stugotz now that he's in this position saying, hey, hold on a minute. I'm not committing to anything. Let's get these deal terms on. And he's saying, I'm not saying it,
But I'm saying it.
as if when he does say it, it matters at all. Like he's in this wonderful winning position of if he's saying it, he's not saying it. If he's telling the truth, he's never lying. If he's lying, he's always telling the truth and he's always winning.
I made the bet, man. I won. I control everything. I control this situation.
So
I
if
mean,
Georgia doesn't beat Alabama in the national championship game, then Dan and I, under this scenario, would both shave our heads. But also, if Georgia just ends up being national champion, I don't shave my head, and it's all good.
So are we
No,
still
no.
doing the
What do you
spreads here, or is this just pick'ems?
Good
Is this
try.
now just
no,
pick'ems?
this is just pick 'em. I'm not doing that spread shit anymore.
well, Alabama's going to be favored next time they play, right?
Yeah, undoubtedly.
Yeah. I got to think about this. I already have your hair. I mean,
Now it depends on how many scalps you want to collect, how many literal scalps you want to collect here. This is going to carry us through the holidays because none of the consequences of this until after the holidays because Mike didn't want to take any family photos during the holidays.
he was very specific after the
not
holiday.
looking like Paul Feinbaum.
My wife would have killed me. Killed me. She's already ready to kill me.
It's so good though. The idea of you sending out holiday cards with you as the Feinbaum.
I was rocking in the corner of a double tree next to SeaWorld Saturday evening.
Mike, I told Abby that I bet my hair again. I did. And she said on what? I said Alabama, Georgia, Alabama getting 6.5 points. She said laugher.
At
You said
10-0.
Mike's losing his hair.
At 10-0, you were just resigned to it being done, right?
I was terrified. Yeah.
I should have just given you an opportunity to cash out early. Just an eyebrow or something.
But then Bryce Young, I mean.
Stugotz wins again.
Yeah.
It's the same every year. Stugotz and Nick Saban always win.
Well, I've done the Feinbaum. I mean,
Well, you won then
I wasn't
too.
exactly winning.
You
Right,
did
right,
win
you're
then
right.
too
Yes,
because you look
yes.
more handsome. That's the healthiest you've ever looked around here when you just decided to shave away all the bad hygiene.
Good point. The Vikings are the best 5-7 team in the history of the NFL.
So funny.
And they are. Jean-Baptiste Kelly. Good to see the University of Miami operates the exact same way as the city of Miami. Shit show. Pierre Kelly. People ask me all the time, what is Miami like? Now I have an answer. Miami is exactly like the University of Miami's AD and head coaching search. Broom, sweeping Mike Ryan's hair into a dustpan. Collision course.
He's gonna taunt you for 6 weeks, man.
So sorry.
You're not sorry.
You're right.
You're not the least bit sorry.
Not at all. Is Tua good? That's all I got. 9 catches, 90 yards. The Dolphins are turning Jalen Waddle into Jarvis Landry. Mike Glennon. My God. Dan, you know what the M in Mike Glennon stands for?
Meh.
My God. I could be wrong. Mike would know better. But I'm pretty certain that Dan thought Mike Glennon was going to be good. Did he think that?
I thought that Mike Glennon, when he was at
Really stuck your neck out there for me.
I thought he would be a pro when he was at NC State. This was a conversation. You manipulate.
You nailed it. He's still a
I do that
pro.
all the time.
You manipulate the things I say all the time.
Stop saying them.
It's unfair. I believe at that time you were arguing, what's NC State got? And I'm like, their quarterback's a pro. I think that's what happened.
But is he? Technically.
I mean, just technically. Only he is paid for his services.
Someone with a Be Nice sticker on the back of their car rolled down his window at the airport and told me to go F myself. Whoever that was, the Stugotz is strong in you. It says be nice right across the back of the car. Like, be nice.
I'm guessing you did something to deserve
Oh, I
that,
did cut
right?
him off. Yeah.
I'm,
It wasn't nice,
I'm
though.
doubting we're getting a full story here.
Oh, I totally cut him off.
I'm familiar with how one.
You can't have a be nice sticker on the back of your car. I don't care if I cut you off. Be nice. That's your motto. That's a motto you live by. It says it on the back of your car. Be nice to me.
Well, let me ask you guys a question here because I was blind with rage and stupidity this weekend, and I want to tell you guys a story because it caught me off guard what my reaction was, and I'm embarrassed to admit what I'm going to admit to you guys right now. So I'm coming out of an alleyway in my car, and a pedestrian is walking.
Hell yeah.
And I almost, I almost hit somebody that was walking, and I was going super slow, right? And he just burst out, and he called me a dick right on the spot. I'm in a convertible, and he called me a dick to my face, and I'm like, you know what? I understand that he's scared, and I'm gonna. Okay, don't do something stupid, Dan. And then I look in my rearview mirror, and he's got a middle finger up still on me. And now I open the car door, and my wife grabs my arm. And I told her I'd be chasing that guy with one arm through West Palm Beach if you were less strong than you were. But I was blind with rage. I was going to run at that person, and so blind with rage that 5 seconds after it had all subsided, Valerie was still talking to me like she talks to our dog. No, Dan, no, like still talking to me that way. And I could have done something very stupid. which is drag that person into the ocean by their hair or been shot dead in the street for the dumbest thing I've ever done.
You have a Be Nice bumper sticker? And
Stugotz, it said Be Nice. Are you sure that guy's name wasn't Ben Ice?
it was Be Nice.
My dad doesn't really support what I do. I just got a phone call, and I got to be monitoring my phone at this time from my dad to inform me, hey, you're not going to believe it, but Manny Diaz has been fired.
Guys, this has been so funny to do with Mike over the weekend because he's got a complicated relationship with his dad. Mike sent me a text string with his dad where his dad is asking him, hey, have you heard anything about this Cristobal guy? I'm hearing some things. And Mike's like, yeah, Dad, keep searching for where those reports are coming from. And he's like, but have you heard anything? Your dad thought he was bringing you the information that Manny Diaz
He's
has
a
been
headlines
fired.
guy. He just grabs the headlines. And fortunately,
He's probably not on Twitter
My
much,
kind
to
of
be
guy.
fair.
Yeah. Well, your dad cut his
But
hair.
does it hurt? Does it? Oh, that's good hair. Wait
That's
a minute.
great hair.
Drag your dad into this.
he would never do it. No. Do you think I have the kind of relationship with my dad where he would volunteer?
It's a good head of hair.
It's a great head of hair.
Stugotz would like
while
that
he's
head of hair.
actively on the dating scene. No.
Your dad is beautiful. He's a Lothario.
No,
He's-
you might as well just take the clippers to my head right now. There's no shot. No shot.
Let's test your dad love for you. He doesn't. You don't want this. You're afraid it won't grow back.
I would just shave my head that way to avoid you guys speaking to my father.
I want to
That's
answer.
the new bet. Promise me you'll never talk to my dad, and I'll shave it right now.
I want to answer Chris Cody's question. Yes, I'm certain it didn't say Ben Ice.
That was such a bad joke by Chris. Terrible joke. Terrible.
If I started an NFL organization and you told me I could select any coach.
Waiting for the bed to come back around. We've just been doing this long.
That's okay.
Okay.
It has been a long time. This has been an unusually long.
Tell me when I can go again. Oh, there it is. If I started an NFL organization and you told me I could select any coach I want, I'd roll with Mike Tomlin over Bill Belichick.
A reheated observation.
Thank you.
Listen,
Stugotz was stunned. Stugotz was stunned earlier.
Tomlin guy is good.
Stugotz was stunned
Be
earlier
nice,
that Mike Tomlin has never.
dog walks, man.
I love him. These
Stugotz
tiny little things.
blurted into the room a second ago. Mike Tomlin has never been under 500.
You know the Giants haven't been over 500 in 5 years?
I would have guessed 10.
How does Gettleman still have a job?
I would have guessed 10.
The Jags have lost at least 10 games in 10 of their last 11 seasons.
The Giants might have won their Super Bowl in the time I'm thinking they were still losers.
Wait, but the 1 year the Jags were good, right? They
AFC
almost
title
went to the
game.
Super
Yeah.
Bowl.
I have to say, Mike Tomlin already has that tie under his belt. So if the Steelers do go 500 this year, he has it. So they can go 8-8-1. I thought this could be the first year he'd have a losing record, but things are shaping up for Mike Tomlin.
You, like Nicole Kidman, you are falling in and out of character with your accent, where every once in a while I can hear the real Jessica. Are you getting tired of doing this?
This has been exhausting, Dan, but there is no fake accent here. I'm just blistering away in this studio. It is hot. It is hotter than a blister bug in a pepper patch, as my granddaddy used to say.
You're getting tired. Yeah. Here comes the football team.
Put it on the poll, Whittingham. Here comes the football team. Yes or no?
Mike didn't hit the beep there because he's texting someone.
I know,
this
he's
is-
still making
It's
calls.
my dad. He's so he doesn't get it. He doesn't get it. He just doesn't get it. He's like, "Do you think this paves the way for Mario?" I'm like, "I did."
Mike, can we put him on the air
No,
at the end of this
no.
segment?
Yes, let's call
on
him.
Twitter. Why are
No.
you being harsh on your
No.
dad? Like, your
Mike,
dad doesn't
listen.
live on Twitter like
Mike,
we all do.
Just listen. I'm not telling you have to do this, but what I am telling you is just hear me out for a second as a content production meeting. I think it would be funny to have the audience know and not your dad know how little he knows about your career and what
Yeah.
you're reporting by having him ask you questions that only you have the answers to.
We're taking this as a negative. Your dad is reaching out to you. He just wants to connect.
It's
He's
bigoted.
He's talking about the cane. He's like, oh, Mike likes the canes. I'm going to talk to him about
No,
it.
Father, son.
no.
I see a dad reaching out for his son just to talk.
No, it's pivoted to him actually now thinking he is breaking the story of Manny Diaz being fired, asking me to tell Dan where I heard it from. Dan, my dad is reporting Manny Diaz is no longer the head
Confirmed.
football coach.
I think we should call your dad and ask him where this
no.
information came from.
I think
Can we
are
report
ending
it?
this bit right now, and we will never utter my dad's name again. But in a nice loop closure, we finally got around to my dad's text.
Fontenot Kelly. Bryce Young, welcome to the Heisman House. Bryceman Trophy. Ron Rivera, NFL Coach of the Year. Collision Course. Raiders, not for real. Baylor, Oklahoma State, Game of Inches. Joe Mixon, literally coughed up the game. Did you see that? I mean, they were coming back, the Bengals. They had that game, and Mixon coughed it up.
That's not a literal cough up.
Oh, it felt like it. You're right. I mean, you are, but it felt like
He did. He just dropped
felt like
the
he
football.
coughed and the football came out.
He
Yeah.
dropped the football and it went the other way. And the difference between the Chargers and Cincinnati, as we try to figure out who everyone is Joe Mixon was dancing in the end zone, clicking heels with a teammate right before that, coming back from 24-0. And then the ball's slippery, it falls out. Oh, Chargers win. Never mind. Save their season. And now we question the Bengals.
Literally coughing up is what you do on air every morning, Stugotz.
The most shocking story to emerge from this college football season is that Nick Saban seems to be human and seems to be enjoying life. Have you noticed? He's smiling.
He is
does
human.
He does seem happier.
Thank you. But he seems to be having a good time.
I'll back you up on this. Before the Iron Bowl, he did a pregame interview with CBS and was grinning the entire time. And I'm like, either this is recruiting Nick or this is a different man.
He thanked the media for all that rat poison this week.
Oh, there was so much of it, though. There was so much. Right?
He was getting
His
his
show was
honey.
most guilty of it.
He's missed rat poison so much.
It's literally the first time he's had bulletin board material
Do you
in
know-
12
do
years.
you know how long
in
it's
12
been
years.
since Nick Saban has gotten some good old-fashioned rat poison? There were out there people questioning, thinking that Georgia is better than Alabama. When Mike made this bet, Georgia came into his mentions. No, Mike, we're Georgia. What are you doing?
Dan is being disassociative with his responsibility in this rat poison narrative. Where do you think they keep the bulletin board at Tuscaloosa? Because I think that thing was covered in dust.
It is. It's in a back room.
Yes.
It's in a room they haven't gone to in 12 years. It looks like the attic at Dania Highlight.
Nick is shouting at one of the many analysts rehabilitating their images of the program and going, "Go get the bulletin board!"
Guy comes back. He sent him 7 years
Yeah.
ago. The guy's been searching the
There's a-
facility
there's
for
You
it.
go to a card catalog to find out the whereabouts of the bulletin
Where's
board.
the bulletin
Going
board?
to the Dewey Decimal System.
Somebody said, no, but I've been fighting for the media with the media for 10 years because I have no other enemies. Everyone thinks we're going to win, always.
There's been a gimp in a closet somewhere in Alabama waiting for 7 years. He finally got light exposure for the first time.
Think about this for a second. This is what passes for bulletin board material. Hey, Nick, we think you're going to lose by 6.
That's an insult, though,
You
man.
mother. Don't talk to me that way.
Hey, Nick, your opposition has given up less than 7 points a game this season.
You played a couple of close games this
You
year.
might lose to them.
He's indignant. These doubters.
I can't believe you guys fell for
The
it.
whole landscape. All the while, by the way, and you ask why he's smiling so much because of that contract clause. I get paid $1 more than anyone else in coaching.
He's about to get another
The
raise.
price just skyrocketed all over the country. Nick Saban, what's he worth? Mario Cristobal, $100 million.
Justin Herbert. That's it. The observation. He leads the NFL in QBR. Holy bleep, is he good. Jim Harbaugh beat Georgia and Alabama, and all's forgiven. Todd Heat would have caught that football. Meanwhile, Tom Brady was 38 of 51 for 368 yards and 4 tutties. The Bucks are 9-3, and 4 of their last 5 games are against Carolina, the Saints, and the Jets. I don't mean to alarm you, but there's a cube-shaped alien house on the moon the Chinese discovered. We should probably look into that. What do you think?
What?
I love Stugotz's weekly warning from thing he saw on the news.
Listen, no one's paying attention to this stuff. I am. Moon cube. Okay? I mean, need I say more?
Moob.
I got a couple of those in a picture we took with Carl Douglas earlier today.
Man, South Beach got the best of Carl.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Stugotz came in here and said, I've got to take a shower. He smelled like the weekend. Like, what kind of gutter did he get into? And he just said that his party went nonstop.
He really had a blast.
Oh my God. Carl consumed South Beach this weekend.
Dan, they should have left Georgia out of the playoff. I'm serious. I'm
Put
addicted.
Notre Dame in, right? Stugotz?
Exactly right. They deserve it. More deserving. Somehow, I mean, go ahead. Look at the resumes and tell me that Georgia's is any better than Notre Dame's. It's not.
Ain't
Sorry.
played nobody.
When Carl Douglas walks up to Liv, like, does he say who he is to them if they don't recognize him? I'm asking. I don't know.
I don't think Carl
kinda-
Douglas, I had to get him into Prime 112. I don't think he's famous enough to that kind of famous. Just step up to
But
your
if he
tool.
says who he is, I'm Carl Douglas, I did this and this, I feel like he kind of could.
Right
be.
after the OJ trial, he's just strolling in, though, right?
But you think, Chris, you think that you have to say that? Like, if you say that out loud,
He's
I'm
part of
OJ
the dream team,
But I'm
man.
OJ. I'm part of OJ Simpson's dream team. You think that gets him in?
In the right setting, you know? Not always, you're right. I'm with you, but there are some people that would recognize that, I think. You don't want to be that famous person, right? That's like, hey, by the way, Dan, have you ever done that? Like,
No, I can't do it, and none of my assistants have ever been good at it. But you know who's great at it?
oh, yes.
Best ever.
This guy is the best.
I don't
I've
mind
ever-
telling you
This
who I
guy
am.
is the best I've ever
But you're
seen.
so well known around Miami, Dan, that I imagine you walk into most places kind of not expecting it, but like, I'm, you know. And then when you don't get it, it's just like, oh, this is awkward.
Oh,
Let's just leave.
it
If we
is-
don't get it, like, you ever do the walk-in? They don't recognize me? All right, let's get out of here.
A line. I don't want to be in lines. Who wants to be in lines?
Nobody does.
I don't want to stand in lines. I do, not surprisingly, all over Whole Foods. I will just stand in line.
Whitty just said lines are overrated.
Underrated.
Underrated.
Lines are underrated. No, they're not. Give
What
you
do you mean?
some time to ponder.
You like lines?
I like lines.
No one likes lines. No one
You're
likes,
doing a thing.
No one likes lines.
Everyone in Miami likes lines.
Love standing in a queue.
Whitty, they were talking in your ear. You missed it. You stepped on his line.
You fool! Oh, God. I'm addicted to Dateline in 2020.
How are these observations so good?
I have no
I'm
idea.
about to run out of the bed.
But I find myself as I get older being addicted to Dateline in 2020. I mean, I love people solving a murder. I do. I don't know why. It's weird. A 20-play, 88-yard drive that produced no points, yet shoot up 11 minutes off the clock. Seems like Vic Fangio's heaven. Thangs.
That drive.
It was great.
It 20 plays.
He was happy with it.
Took up the whole second quarter. So stupid.
11 minutes.
It's
No
so
points.
It's so Teddy Bridgewater.
You had the Broncos +9.
Me too. Sorensen, you mother. You mother. You know how hard it is to bet against the Chiefs? Do you know how much courage I've got to summon to bet Fangs against the Chiefs? And the only reason I did is, you know why? Well, beyond chasing. Because football. Because I think the Chiefs are going to win by 40.
And also, you think you're losing to Mahomes, not Sorensen.
I'm not. God. And then the worst thing that happens in gambling. The worst thing. I'm getting the ball back. Punt returner fumbles. You mother. I would have run straight on the field. Straight like that. Tell me there's something worse that happens in gambling than you think that. I mean, I'm beyond losing, right? Mm-hmm. You think you're getting the ball back in one of these defensive games and your punt returner muffs it.
Extra point when you need the hook.
But do you guys think that Fangs at halftime was very satisfied with his team's second quarter? I mean, they had the ball for 11 minutes. They kept Patrick Mahomes off the field.
That is porn for Fangs.
That's what I'm saying.
He could retire and he'd be like Michael Jordan making the shot at the end against Utah. He could retire right there. 20 plays, 88 yards, no points.
I think he still celebrates that game because of that drive.
Oh, yeah.
Like after the game, they're celebrating in that locker room because of that drive.
It was like a win for Fangs.
Fangs dreams at night. Can I have a play that lasts, a drive that lasts more than a quarter? Can I hold the ball for an entire half? How do I do it? Get penalized? How
produces no points?
How? No points, 0-0 at the half. The drive took me from the 1 to the 1. I never let the other team touch the football.
I'm actually going to surprise you about Fangs. Last year, Fangs was the most conservative coach on fourth down. That's not surprising. This year, the second most aggressive coach on fourth down, Vic Fangio, in the entire NFL.
Is it always a run?
It's going for is what it is.
I think it's always a run.
I mean, he's got fourth and inches
because
a lot.
It's 3 yards, 3 yards, 3 yards.
Inches.
Got to get 3 yards.
Fangio's at home saying to himself, you know what? If I can get 2.6 yards with every play for a 40 play, 2-quarter drive, I can hold the ball an entire half and they'll remember me.
And produce no points.
No points, 0-0. It doesn't matter. I lost 17-0 in the second half.
Okay.
But they'll remember that I did the Rubik's Cube of math in this game. I got 2.6 yards every play for 2 quarters.
What a weird world we live in, where no one seems to mind that the UFOs are here. And even stranger, that the only thing we know for sure about the NFL season is that the Arizona Cardinals are good. Hell is going on. Speaking of hell, Art Briles. Dan, those are the weekend observations.